Welcome to Xtra presented by VDG Sports. I'm your host, Vince Douglas Gregory. No filter. Very censored. Noobs, thank you for giving me an opportunity. Thank you for giving me a chance. That's all I can ask for. That's all I ever could ask for. I don't necessarily consider myself a successful person or success as the common way of defining it. But there's enough people around me who use that word in my name or use that word in me together. So I will, for the purpose of this, explain how and why that was possible or that is possible. But it's not, I don't view it that way. I don't look at it that way. I'm way too humble for that. Way too humble for that. Regs, we back at it again. Regs, we do what we do. Regs, this seems like every single day, but it's not every single day. It just feels that way because we got this special, unique bond that we share. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. But someday, sometime, I should say, someone will come up with what to call this, and we will go back in time and say this is what it was and this is what it is. But until that moment in time happens, we're just going to say this is the special, unique bond that we share, the special, unique bond that we have, but amongst us. I don't like to use the word, I don't like to determine success because it's too definite. It's almost as if you can't. It's not fluid. It doesn't feel to me as you can just move in and out, because you can be successful in one thing and be a complete failure in another. Be successful one moment and be a complete failure in another. So for me, it's more fluid, and that's why I don't really accept how it's placed or put on me. So for the sake of argument, or for me and be able to explain and say how we got here, I will accept those. I'll accept the premise. I'll accept those terms, but it's not necessarily how I view it and see it. So I will say at the moment, success or successful. Sure, I'll take it. I'll take it. But for me, being able to say that I'm successful in something at any given point in time, for me, it worked, or it's easier when I know what I know and I know what I don't know. And I'm not afraid to admit it, and I'm not afraid to understand it for myself, and not just either over promising and under delivering, I should say, or just not being okay with not knowing something, or not being okay with just ultimate being completely and utterly wrong. Because when I'm wrong, it just drives me to know more. It just drives me. And this is the fuel, the self-motivation fuel that I usually normally have in failing or not meeting my expectations. It's just more fuel to my fire that just burns. And so for me, being able to be okay and accepting a mishaps or a misstep or failure, I take that energy and I take that fuel and I use it and I burn off of it, and I'm burning off of it, and I'm trying to improve. I'm trying to correct the mistake. I'm trying to correct the error. I'm trying to get better in what it was that I took or I had the misstep in, or I had the error in. So I'm viewing it from that point of view. And if there's no error, and if there's no misstep, or there's no need, of course, there's subtle or maybe grand improvements, but it's not something necessary, or it's not something that requires all of your focus, and you can continue to build off of the building blocks, or you can continue to build off of the foundation of whatever it is, or whatever idea, or whatever the whole principle of the point that you are trying to do or make. And that's how I view that. And that's how I utilize that and flip it into my own unique way. Cause I know, yes, I know. And it's the I know, haha, not the I know, he, even though it's a little bit close, even though it's a little bit close, even though it's a little bit close. But I know you can't win at everything. And cliche as it sounds, if you are always winning and you never experience the loss of, you never experience the failure, what's actually driving you? Where is the actual hunger coming from? Or is it just something that's just being the winner, and being the winner all the time at everything, regardless? That falls into a couple of categories as I see it. Falls into the perfectionist, which is, let's just say it, it ain't good. It ain't good because no one's perfect. And so when you do ultimately fail or not win, how are you handling that? Then it falls into another clear category for me is, you're cheating. How is it possible? Are you cheating? You got the cheat code, and the cheat code is everything is handed to you on a silver platter. Everything, your road is already paid for you. You don't have to build a road. You don't have to build a foundation. You don't have to build an infrastructure. It's already there. So you are utilizing what's already there for your benefit. That is cool. That is great. That is okay. But when things crumble, when things fall apart, and when things go sideways or left or right or up or down, are you built for the chaos? Do you understand the chaos? Will you run from the chaos? Will you be, okay, I got this, I can handle this? And that is something for each and every individual to ask themselves that has everything already. I can't make that blanket claim because that's not me, and that's not the direction I've come from or came from or saw or had in my future, I should say. It's always a challenge. And I look at the challenges and I look forward to the challenges because it helps open up. It helps me utilize a different aspect. It helps me understand from a different perspective or a different point of view. It challenges me on different levels, whether I'm ready or whether I'm not, but it's there. And how am I moving about? How am I moving around? How am I doing what I need to do to meet whatever expectation is, or to push back the challenge and not let the challenge take me under, and not let the challenge take me down? And see, I have all of this stuff going on, all of this stuff rolling around, these principles, these ideas, these methods. I ain't got time to be trying to compete with somebody else. All of this competition and all this competing, all these principles, all these ideas, you see, I'm busy. I ain't got time for that. Even though, bird-like voice. Even though, if the time were to come, I don't run from challenges. I just don't go making them to make them against other people or comparing myself to other people for that very reason, because there's different things. It's just not my cup of tea. It's just not what I imagine becoming better and getting better needs to entail. Sometimes you can't avoid it. It just happens. So be it. I'm not running. I'm not going to run from it. I'm going to accept it and do what I need to do and move on and go from there. Hopefully get the W. If not, go back to the drawing board and look what I need to do better on my end and not worry about the things that I can't control. I only can control what I can control and just focus on that along with all my principles and methods and all of the other things that I've mentioned previous. So with all of that going on and that taking place and that happening, I don't have the time. I don't have the time to just look at everyone and focus on every single person I deemed worthy to compete with. Competition breeds innovation. Yes, I am fully aware. I am 1,100% behind that. And it's true. But I don't go and just to compete. That was even during my days as a perfectionist. I didn't do that. Even during my days as a full-blown perfectionist, I didn't even set myself out to just compete with any and everybody. There was levels to this. I was competing so hard against myself, and somebody else managed to get within my realm and my world and try to compete to me. Of course, I wanted to crush them. And of course, I did everything to crush them and let them know I was crushing them or how it was going to take place and how it's going to happen. But my ultimate end game goal was perfection. And people and other competitors was just a stepping stone, just a means to an end. Even during my hardest of days to be a perfectionist, I never, ever looked to just get my fuel and energy off of trying to best someone else to be driven by that. You can't control that. When you're on top, once you are the one, what do you do then? What do you do then? And you don't have to answer that. It's not even a rhetorical question. It's not even a really serious question because I don't have my serious spectacles on. I don't have my serious spectacles on, so I can't really say it's a serious question, but it's one of them thought-provoking ones. It's one of them thought-provoking questions that you need to answer for yourself, that you need to take some deep thoughts, take some time, and think about it yourself. When you're just around some peeps or people, friends, family, or whoever, just ponder that question to yourself. And then ponder what is your actual end game? What is the actual goal? What is you are ultimately looking for? And is it really necessary? Is it really necessary to focus on other people, things that you can't control, things that you have no control over? And you need to focus on what you can control and get better at not worrying, not stressing, not fretting on what you can't control. Ultimately, there's the peaks and the valleys. Ultimately, you're going to have the roller coaster ride. Ultimately, things are going to be good. Things are going to be bad. Things are going to be so mediocre. It's going to be all over the map. But hopefully, you are able to build in a mechanism to help you stay level through the peaks and the valleys. Built in a mechanism to help you get through the rough times, the times that are amazingly good and you are built for, or know who can help, know how to reach out and get help when it's too much, when it is too much. Because ultimately, it comes down to what you can and can't control, what you should and should not focus on, and being truly and willingly able to accept what you don't know and what you do know, and being okay with taking a L, being okay with the loss. I ain't saying you gotta like it. I ain't saying it's something you should get used to. I'm just saying, use it as an opportunity. Use it as a challenge. Accept that challenge. And hopefully, things will get better, work out. And when you look back on it, or people within your orbit will say, wow, that's success. But it won't be me. It won't be me. And for the reasons I mentioned earlier, not because I wouldn't want to say you are successful, because you are successful. You are a star. And I'm not just blowing air up your ear hole. I'm just saying that knowing what you don't know, accepting what you don't know, as some of the first steps Well, for me, anyway, Thank you for listening. Be sure to check out the website. Yes, the new and improved website at extra.vdgsports.com. extra.vdgsports.com. This episode is not being sponsored by VinceDouglasGregory.com. VinceDouglasGregory.com is where you can keep up with me, my whereabouts, my well-being, basically all things Vince in between. There's a YouTube as well. Yeah, there's a YouTube as well. VDG Sports. Like, subscribe, share, basically do whatever it is you do there. Comment if you may, comment if you must. Yeah, do whatever it is you do there. Once again, noobs, thank you for giving me an opportunity. Thank you for giving me a chance. That's all I ever want. Regs, I was thinking about giving it to you. I really and truly was. But we ended in such a good place. We ended in such a great place. I don't want to ruin it for anybody else. So I'm just going to go. Peace out.